Super Dave here with another exciting review, and this is a part of the new series, episode 2 of the new series, Figures, Playsets, and Accessories that will work with MOTU Classics. And today we're going to look at one of my personal favorite playset backgrounds, more or less, more than playsets, but hey, I'll call them playsets because they're great for posing action figures, especially MOTU Classics, and that is from our great creative minds at toyhacks.com. And so come on a journey with me and let me show you some of my personal favorites. They make them for Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joes, and general backgrounds as well, Star Wars. But my favorite, of course, is the MOTU Classics. They actually make backgrounds for Vintage Motu or MOTU Classics lines. And so come on, let's take a look at my favorites that I have purchased and see what you think. All right, so here is the first one that I purchased, and this one is the Eternia Palace, looking in from the outside gates into the city, or into the palace gates that go into the palace of Eternia where King Randor lived. But in my stories, I'm also saying that this existed along the time of King Myro and even King Grayskull. And let's get a quick measurement of this. It stands, if we can back up here just a smidgen, it stands, as you see, 12 inches tall from top to bottom, so perfect for vintage or classics. And you can get a medium size, this is the large size, and a small size, and you can get panels, square panels that go on shelves, like your glass shelves. I forget what they're called, the technical term. And it's about 32 inches wide with the fold. I mean, it would be a little wider if you opened them all the way, but of course to stand up you have a little bit of an angle. You see the bends here and here that's going to be apparent. That's the only thing I dislike about these, is that the bend. But sometime when I'm taking photographs, what I will do for photographs is I will bring it inside of Photoshop or my photo editing software and actually edit out those lines sometime in some of my pictures. But you see the detail, they're just very nice. The detail that is here, it's actually even pretty clear when you get up close. And just like with any pixelized type print on something, the further away, the clearer and the sharper it looks. But gives the illusion of that city in the background as it kind of fades out, look almost a 3D look, like someone could step out of that corridor there, that mall area, that courtyard area outside of the gate. And then of course that classic picture of the dome of the palace, where we would always see in the Filmation cartoon them panning from the outside to that position before showing the characters within. And so you see the dynamic opportunities for photography here with your figures. All right, so we got it centered back up here, and you see even in the bends here you are going to get some reflection. You've got to get your lighting just right to avoid that, but it is not a reflective material. It's very anti-reflective material. It's not shiny, so that bodes well for it. It's not going to glare or reflect your characters. It's not going to cast shadows easy, so it's gonna be a good canvas for that. But of course it's not perfect. You're gonna have some glare depending on how your light is done. And I was working working my lights around even, and you see there, just turning that light just a little bit, that one almost went away, so that's perfect there. To show you also the flooring, these run you about $29, around $30, between $25 and $30 for the large ones here, the 12-inch by 32-inch, and then for about $2 a piece you get these panels. And these are nice. They don't even feel like cardstock, or they almost feel like some kind of plastic vinyl type material, but it is like a paper. It could tear, but it's not going to tear easily. It's a very nice thick material that has, you know, a sturdiness to it. You see that I'm picking it up and it's not even bending. Of course, if I do like that, it would, but it's a sturdy material. So you know, you can get a set of 4 like that, and then you've got your flooring for whatever backdrop you choose to have, which that one's the one they suggested for this particular background. It blends in the best with that. Almost, it, you know, kind of looks like a courtyard flooring or sand or dirt or, you know, path. Could be used for various things here. Let's bring in some characters and let you see that before we move to the next Toy Hacks background. All right, so here's some of the characters I've brought in to display with this particular background. We have Eldor on the left. You have Sir Laserlot next to King Grayskull. And I'm using this character as a young Lord Adai. I would love to get a blue figure to have for this to go more accurately with the storyline, but that's who I've been using so far in my storyline. And then you have Fonus over here, which I'm pretending that these two guys are on the early Council of Elders for King Grayskull in my story. We're told that Eldor was on that council. We were told that Sir Laserlot was in the bio cards, but they don't really tell us a whole lot of who else. So I have these two guys drafted them in there. Of course, we know Lord Adai was in the comics, in the classic story, and some of those canons and bios that you read. But Fonus is one that I'm making up. He's Lord of the Woodsman or Master of Woodsman, and so that's pretty cool. But anyway, you see there here the backdrop and how well these guys fit in together with this Toy Hacks Eternia Palace background. All right, let's take a look at the next background. All right, so here's another awesome backdrop from Toy Hacks. Again, same dimensions on this one. This one is the 12 inches tall, 32 inches wide, around that roundabout. And this is your Eternia Forest, or an outdoor or a mountainous scenery where they can walk. And these panels are the same size as the dirt panels. They're almost grassy, goes along with the foliage. And you have just like a little stream or river, or the you know, beginnings maybe even of a lake, the trees like you would see in Filmation, the bright colors that you saw in He-Man and She-Ra. This backdrop goes perfectly with either She-Ra figures, Princesses of Power figures, or He-Man and Masters of the Universe. And again, they're quarter, you know, 5 1/4 inch vintage scale figures or classic scale. So let's take a look at some accessories that could go with this. At Walmart, in the or you know, your pet store of choice, but in the pet department, for 98 cents, you can grab a hold of these. And I got this idea from Grayskull Warrior, and I like it because you can put these in places and just make your Eternia pop. The bigger the trees you get, you know, the more expensive. I got these on clearance at Hobby Lobby. They look kind of neat, like some bushes. Anything bright goes along with this. And so, you know, you can just put that, you can just randomly place these in certain spots, in corners of your scene, and just make it come alive for your MOTU Classics. I just love it. I just think, you know, the more you can make it 3D, three-dimensional, the better. It just comes to life as things just come to life there. And so, how cool is that, right? I mean, you can't ask for anything more. So there, as you see, there's just a lot of cool things that you can do to just add dimension to this set. This one was like $1 and something at Walmart. Got this actually in the plant, the fake plants, you know, the artificial plant part of Walmart. So you could just, you know, make this come alive, and then you can add some figures. Let's add some figures. So you see how this can just come alive when you've got this all put together, and just see how a backdrop just can make the world of difference for any photography setting, and just, you know, just looks phenomenal. You got the mountains in the background, even some of those colorful bushes back there that go along with these, that are designed for fish tank. And also, I will just throw this in, at Walmart and some craft stores you can get a roll of this mossy grass kind of terrain, and that rolls out, which works really well. Even some of this stuff, some kind of paper that is used in scrapbooking, and some other craft material that you can get at AC Moore's and Michael's now. Not seen it at Hobby Lobby, but it's a thin parchment type material that almost looks like grass as well. So there's a lot of options if you don't want to pay the $2 for that grassy cardboard type material there. So there's just a lot of neat things, accessories that can go along well with your MOTU Classics. All right, so you see an above shot here just how nice it just almost becomes three-dimensional. It's just amazing, and I just love this backdrop that goes so well, the colorfulness and the realism that goes along with that Filmation, especially if you were one who grew up in the 80s and you remember the Filmation cartoon. This is kind of what comes alive to you in pictures in your mind, and so just excellent display material here and creativity. Anybody seen Loki? All right, let's take a look at some other good guy backdrops that go along with Castle Grayskull. All right, so if He-Man is approaching Castle Grayskull and is getting ready to go inside of the castle itself, he would of course dismount off his steed here, well, off of Battle Cat, and he would take the sword of power and stick it in our famous little hole there, secret passage hole there, and put his sword back, jump back on his steed. I'm sorry, Battle Cat. I guess steed is more of a horse. And he would begin to take his stroll into the castle. And that, my friends, is where the magic of toy hacks would come in. Here we go. And voila, Battle Cat and He-Man are now have walked over the drawbridge, through the doorway, and into Castle Grayskull with the magic of a toy hacks background. You see again that flat thick papered cardstock that looks like the green stones that you can make a floor. You could also I've even used those as walls, so they can actually double in purpose, but it gives that 3D effect. It looks great, and now He-Man and Battle Cat have walked into Castle Grayskull, and now you're switching to the inside view. So now we're going inside of Castle Grayskull to look at some beautiful toy hacks. Just look at the detail. It gives that three-dimensional look. You have the mountains, you have the colorfulness in the background, you have these walls and the almost winding pillars and wood. Look at the crystals over here on the right. I mean, you have that mystery of Castle Grayskull written all over this, and it actually looks three-dimensional, even though it's just a flat board back there. And they stand up perfectly by themselves. You don't need any special stand or anything to do that. And there you go. And that, again, is 4 floor pieces. And this is also the 12-inch tall, 32 inches wide version, the large. All right, now that we're inside Castle Grayskull, you see everybody's busy at work doing their thing, and all of those accessories and things that you see, that is Castle Grayskull and a little frame I got at Hobby Lobby, and then I printed that off using an image from the Filmation cartoon steel image. And so none of that is toy hacks, but as you continue to go deeper into the castle, now we're getting into the toy hacks. You see the flooring there, and you see behind Man-at-Arms, and I do have one of the stands to build in the gap there, back there in this this little break here, the little stands that were MOTU Classics. But starting right there at where Man-at-Arms is, the rest of that is toy hacks, and the flooring, check that out. Look at how nice that looks. Keeps going around and around and around. This is inside Castle Grayskull. There's even a little panel there for Man-at-Arms to work at. Little lab for him inside of Castle Grayskull. A stairwell. that again is just painted in. It's just part of this image, keeps going all the way to that vine tree looking thing in that corridor, even with the shading back there with that fiery lamp. Isn't that just awesome? And of course you can use different lighting. I've got the red here that you can shine in there. Now you're seeing a little better of what I was talking about. But there is Castle Grayskull on the inside with toy hacks. And then if you just need to go deeper into the castle, and of course, let me just say right quick before we do that, that you can see how you can add some accessories and things to build out this set to make it even look more, have more depth. Put some, you know, some more furniture in here, some more weaponry. You could put the weapons rack in here. There's all kinds of things you could do to add out, you know, to make this scene pop even deeper than what the Toy Hacks version background is showing in the flooring. But if you want to go even deeper into the castle, let's check out one more inside Castle Grayskull feature. This is the large set there, again 32 inches wide, 12 inches tall. I've got a medium size I want to show you next. And here is the medium size that is just a hallway, just basically a wall or hallway, utilizing those same exact floor tiles. This one is only 10 inches, just a little bit above 10 inches tall, and ranges about, best I can tell there, about 22 inches wide. So quite a bit smaller than the other one, but nonetheless effective. You still get an effect there and it works great. I'm not sure if this one comes in the large. They may have been out or maybe it doesn't. I wanted a hallway, a corridor. This could also double as a wall. You can even put something underneath this like a foam board. I've done that one time, and then taking this material and folded it under the foam board to give like a molding, a floor molding, to raise that up a little bit so I could back up and not, you know, get the back, what's behind it in the picture. I have done that. Another cool thing with just a regular soft light that I've got shining on there, because of the flames, you can even, if you're doing videos, add a little flicker, because the shadowing makes it look like those torches are working, and the shadowing doesn't, you know, catch it as bad. So you could even do something, you know, kind of like in that effect. I think that's kind of cool. But that right there can be used as a hallway inside of Castle Grayskull, or a cave, or some other area you're exploring, or just to pose as a backdrop for your action figures. And that, my friends, will wrap it up for the Good Guy Toy Hacks backdrops. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be looking at the Bad Guy, the inside of Snake Mountain type pictures, and Bad Guy backdrops that Toy Hacks made. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and we'll see you next time. Be blessed.